I've made a non-traditional carbonara on the channel beforehand using cream, which is what I grew up with, but a lot of you have asked me to make the traditional version, so here it is. It only uses 5 simple ingredients as well as a little bit of salt for the pasta water, but we won't include that. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy. Alright guys, let's start this off by placing a large saucepan of water onto our stovetop over a high heat. Add in a large pinch of salt to season the water, and once at a boil, add in 400 grams or 14 ounces of spaghetti, leaving it for 30 seconds to make it easier to twist into the water without breaking it up. Once fully submerged, cook this as per your packet instructions until al dente, giving it a mix every now and again just so it doesn't stick together. In the meantime, add 4 large free-range egg yolks into a mixing bowl, along with 40 grams or 1.4 ounces of freshly grated Pecorino Romano cheese, or Parmigiano Reggiano if that's all you can get hold of, and then give this a good whisk together to create a thick mixture, and this is going to be our rich sauce. Next, we're going to need 200 grams or 7 ounces of Guanciale, which is pork cheek or pork jowl, and if you can't get hold of this, use pancetta, and if you can't get hold of that, just use bacon. But I will say, Guanciale is the best for this recipe. Now with this, we're just going to slice this into thin, even sized strips, and the size is up to you, but having it on the thicker side is the best way to go in my opinion. Once that's done, rotate the Guanciale, pancetta or bacon 90 degrees and slice across those initial slices to create nice diced pieces. Again, the size is up to you, and you want something that looks just like this. Now to get this cooking, place a large pan onto your stovetop over a medium heat, and once hot, without adding any oil, add in the diced Guanciale, to which we're going to saute for 4 to 5 minutes, just until it's golden and slightly crispy, giving it a mix regularly. The reason why we don't add oil is that the Guanciale is very fatty, and once it starts to cook, that fat will render out, and that's what we're going to use to flavour this dish and coat the spaghetti. So this has now been 5 minutes, and you can see that it's nice and golden brown, and you can also see what I was saying about that fat, which there's quite a bit, but that's what makes this taste so good. And we can now turn this off the heat, but leave it sitting on that hot burner. Right about now, our spaghetti is perfectly al dente, and what we want to do is very carefully transfer the spaghetti straight from the saucepan into the pan, but be very careful as hot fats don't like water and it could potentially spit on you. And we're also going to carefully scoop out 3/4 of a cup or 180 milliliters of the pasta water. Once that's done, heavily season the spaghetti and Guanciale with 2 teaspoons or 20 cracks of black pepper, and you can add more or less depending on your taste. Then add in the egg yolk and cheese mixture, making sure to scrape it all in there as we definitely don't want to waste any of this. This stage now is where we need to work quite fast because we don't want our yolks to scramble, so what we're going to do is continuously mix the pasta around, making sure to get it coated in all of that cheesy mixture, and we're only going to be using the remaining heat left in the pan, as well as the spaghetti, so make sure that your stovetop is off. Now that that's all coated, pour in a small amount of the pasta water, which is going to turn that cheese and egg mixture into a delicious sauce, again continuously mixing, and the reason I don't have a measurement for the water is because it depends on how runny you want your sauce, so only add in enough water in small increments, just until you're satisfied with the texture and smoothness. Once all that's done and you're happy, we can then remove the pan from the stovetop. Now to serve this up, you can do this however you please, but I like to make mine into a nice little spiral in the center of the bowl or plate. Then spoon over those crispy and delicious Guanciale pieces, grate over some more Pecorino Romano cheese, which in my opinion deserves quite a bit and adds a great finishing touch, then crack over a touch more black pepper for even more flavour, and then how good does that look? The sauce is so creamy without even adding cream, and that Guanciale is beautifully golden brown and super crispy. This then leaves us with one final step, and that is, we can then dig in. So there we have it, a really cheap and simple recipe that requires minimal ingredients and tastes absolutely incredible. This recipe right here serves 2 and can easily be doubled, tripled and so on, and as for storage it will only last 2 days in your fridge, and for reheating just place it back in a pan over a low heat and just heat it up very gently, and you will have to add a little splash of water just to get things moving around again. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that like button, consider subscribing and doing all of that jazz, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, stay safe and enjoy.